Good evening, everybody. Um, it's been weeks since we were here last. Well, 6 days. I guess last Monday. Glad to be here with you all again. This has been a tumultuous week for me. Just back on the Colossus a little bit, going up and down. But it smoothed out the end of this last week. It was actually pretty good. Hope it's going good for all of you. Also, there's so much uncertainty still going around, talking about doing this, talking about doing that we really need to focus on keeping ourselves right here, right now in the present, and finding new ways to connect with each other and foster that empathy that we all, well, at least I crave. I had a very good friend this past week set up a virtual cocktail hour on Zoom. And I can tell you that you can connect and you can experience empathy through the airwaves. Over and over again, it's being discovered. These classes, for example, I get some wonderful feedback, which helps me. I hope that what you all experience helps you, or helps you find a little bit of that peace, a little bit of that presence that we're all looking for. So as we get ready to start practice here, I just ask you to remember that this is Trauma Recovery Yoga. I'm Max. You ask my granddaughters, I'm Poppy. I'm very proud to be Poppy. And in this practice, there's no judgment, there's no critique, there's no corrections, which obviously that would be a little difficult in this format for me anyway, to tell you, oh, you need to perfect your alignment there, you need to rotate your knee out. Even if we were live and in person, that's not what this practice is about. This practice is about finding a way to get that squirrel to quit running around in your head, or maybe get that hamster to take a step off of its wheel for just a few minutes and let your brain do what it does best. Work things out and make new connections, called neuroplasticity. It's an amazing thing. So again, this is your yoga, your way. If you choose to just sit there and breathe, great, you're doing yoga. And honestly, if you're one of my friends or associates from work or from outside that just tuned in because somebody said, hey, you got to see this shit, and you're going to sit there on your couch and maybe have a giggle or two and enjoy this practice, you too are doing yoga, because what you're doing is you're moving right here into the present. So as we get ready to get started, I ask you to take and find an easy seated position. It could be on your mat, just like we just talked about. It could be on your couch. And just, we're going to begin by indulging or practicing, trying to create a new habit of self-regulation. We do that. And it's the same thing we talk about every practice. Our practices are similar because we're looking for continuity and predictability. So we begin by practicing self-regulation. We start by noticing the support that the earth is giving to us. That's literally what grounding means. Feeling the ground, feeling the support, and having maybe coming to that awareness But that stability and support is always right there waiting to remind you that it's there. It's there for you to hold you up and to support you. Next, we're going to begin the process of centering. What is centering? Centering is working at bringing not just our physical focus, but our mental focus and our emotional focus into the center of our body. We can start to achieve that by lifting the pelvic floor as if trying to restrict the flow of urine. And yes, it's okay to giggle now because I just said urine. And then we're going to take and pull the belly button in towards the spine, feeling that heat begin to build in our core, holding that belly button in, continuing to breathe, even though maybe that breathing's a little shallow right now, feeling that heat build. Maybe you'll even notice your thoughts and emotions focusing and falling down into that core. We're stoking that inner furnace that we'll use later to burn up all of those things that no longer serve us. The third and final piece of self-regulation is breathing. At first, just noticing the breath, releasing that belly, letting it just fall easy, and then just noticing, am I breathing in or am I breathing out? Noticing if maybe you feel a little bit of cool in your nostrils. Maybe you feel that air flowing into your belly. Maybe you only feel it flowing into the top of your lungs. Again, not trying to change it or control it. Just noticing, am I breathing in? Am I breathing out? And maybe realizing that if you're truly noticing your breath, you have no choice but to be right here, right now. You can't breathe in the past. You can't breathe in the future. You can only breathe right here, right now. Now we're going to move into a three-part yogic breathing. We start that by letting the air flow in, filling the belly, expanding the belly big, feeling that air continue to fill up, lifting the shoulders, and you feel the air, that final last little sip flowing in and making the eyes cool and sparkle. And exhale from the top down, the chin comes down, shoulders soften, belly comes in. Inhale, big belly, shoulders lift, ribs separate, eyes cool and sparkle. Exhale, chin comes down, shoulders come down, belly comes in. One more time. Inhale, big belly, shoulders lift, eyes cool and sparkle. Exhale, allow the chin to come down, shoulders to soften, the belly to come in. And now just allow your breathing to come back to its normal, uncontrolled rhythm, just allowing it to do what it feels naturally, but keeping aware of whether you're breathing in or you're breathing out. We're going to begin some movement now, and we're going to link that movement to the breath. So on the next inhale, I want you to bring your right ear to your right shoulder, focusing on bringing the ear to the shoulder, not the shoulder to the ear. Feeling that shoulder stay plugged in as we continue to breathe. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling. And on the next exhale, allow the head to come back to neutral. Before, on the next inhale, allowing the left ear to come to the left shoulder. Again, focusing on bringing the ear to the shoulder, not the shoulder to the ear. Feeling that stretch across the top of the right side of the neck. And on the next exhale, bring the head back up to center. And then we're going to allow the chin to fall slightly towards the chest. we're going to begin a series of neck rolls. And we're going to link that breath to the movement. We're going to inhale, bringing the right ear to the right shoulder and back. And then exhale as we come to the left and down. Inhaling to the right and back. Exhaling to the left and down. Inhaling as we go to the right and extend. Exhaling as we come to the left and compress. And then allowing the chin to hang heavily. Continuing to breathe. Maybe noticing the tendons beginning to stretch out and tug gently up the back of your neck, pulling gently on your scalp before reversing that rotation. And on the next inhale, bring the left ear to the left shoulder and back, and then exhaling to the right and down. Inhaling to the left and back, exhaling to right and down. Inhaling as we extend, exhaling as we compress. One last time, inhaling to the left and back, and then exhaling as we contract to the right and down. Bring the head up to neutral, the gaze forward. I ask you to bring your right hand up, palm forward, shoulder blade still plugged in, turning your gaze towards that right hand, turning the palm towards your face, blinking your eyes, wiggling your fingers, letting the light flow in and begin to stimulate the happy center in your brain. Maybe, just maybe, feeling a little bit of a smile tug at the corners of your mouth. Before shifting your gaze over to the left, you don't have to itch your lip like I just did. Bringing your left hand down onto the mat, spreading the fingers wide, noticing and seeing that your hand is in contact with the ground and feeling that support. Before inhaling, lifting up towards the sky, towards the ceiling, shifting your gaze forward, and allowing that right arm as we exhale to come over the top in a nice gentle stretch on the right, compression on the left. Inhale, extend a little bit. Exhale, come down just another millimeter or two. And then inhale, come back up. Exhale, bring the hands back down to your knees. Now, we're going to take and bring the left hand up. Keeping that shoulder blade plugged in, shifting the gaze to that left hand, turning the palm towards the face, blinking the eyes, wiggling the fingers, allowing the light to flow in even more. Maybe you feel a full-on grin coming on this time. Before shifting the gaze down to the right, planting the hand, feeling, seeing, and noticing the grounding and the support of the earth under that hand. Before inhaling, lifting that hand up towards the ceiling, shifting the gaze to the front, and then exhale, come over the top, feeling that stretch on the left side and the compression on the right. Inhale, extend a little bit. Exhale, come down just a wee bit more. Before inhaling, coming back up, bringing your hands back down to your knees. Now we're going to move into a little bit more vigorous movement as we inhale, bring the hands up overhead. Exhale, bring them down to heart center. Inhale, bring the hands up overhead. Exhale, bring the hands down to heart center. And this time, as we inhale and bring the hands up overhead, we're going to interlace the three outer fingers, keeping the index finger pointed up like the pointer on a clock, thumbs slightly together, gaze forward. As we inhale, reach up, and exhale, come over 1, 2 numbers on our personal clock. Inhale, extend. Exhale, come down just a wee bit more on this side. Before inhaling, coming back up. Exhale, come down 1, 2 numbers on the other side. Inhale, extend. Exhale, come down just a little bit more. Before inhaling, coming back up, shifting your gaze up to that little cup between your hands. As we inhale, I want you to reach higher and higher and higher, straining, stretching, yearning for the sky, feeling your biceps brush your ears before opening the hands up, exhaling, and slowly opening the hands and the heart, and feeling the weight of this past week begin to lift from your shoulders. We're going to bring the left hand to the right knee, right hand behind the right hip. Sorry about that, lost my place a little bit. Inhale and sit up straight, and then exhale, twist with the torso, not using your arms, twist around to the right. Inhale, sit back up straight, shift the gaze over that back shoulder, and then exhale, twist just a little bit more, feeling yourself stretching out those rubber bands that run up and down your back. Inhale, unwind, and bring the right hand to the left knee. Left hand behind the left hip, sitting up straight, and again, twisting with your torso to the left, feeling that twist at the base of the rib cage. Before inhaling, sitting up straight, shifting the gaze back over that left shoulder, and using your right hand to pull yourself around just a little bit more, easing a little bit more of that tension in the middle of your back. And then exhale, allow yourself to come back to an easy seated pose. Now we're going to move into tabletop. Tabletop is simply coming onto all fours, knees under the hips, hands underneath the shoulders, fingers spread wide. Again, noticing and feeling that grounding and that support, the security the earth's there to give us. And as we feel our back flatten out, we're going to inhale, feel our head pulled to the far side of the room. Exhale, look over the right shoulder, back at that right pinky toe. Inhale back to center. Exhale, look over at the left pinky toe. Inhale back to center. Exhale, look at that right pinky toe. Inhale back to center. And squeeze out, looking back at that left pinky toe. Before inhaling and meeting me back at center, we're going to move into bird dog. And that is simply done. We extend the left leg back, tucking the toes, maybe taking this opportunity to bounce a little bit gently, starting to stretch out that hamstring in the back and the Achilles, the back of the calf. Shifting the weight into the left hand, extending the right hand out towards the far side of the room, engaging the core, and lifting that back leg up. And as we're in this position, we begin to notice those little trembles, those little shakes. And then exhale, come back down to tabletop. Now we're going to do the other side. Bring the right leg back, tucking those toes, bouncing a little bit to begin to stretch out those tendons, shifting the weight into the right hand, extending the left hand out, engaging the core, bringing that back leg up, and again, noticing those little trembles, those little shakes in our muscles before exhaling, coming back down to tabletop. Now we're going to get ready to go into our first down dog of the evening. Tucking the toes, shifting the sit bones back towards the heels. We're going to lever ourselves up, bringing our sit bones up towards the ceiling and not worrying about if our knees are bent, if our feet are together, if our heels are anywhere near the mat. None of that matters. Why? Because this is your yoga, your way. However, whatever position you're in is the exact right position for you, even if that's sitting on the couch. Inhale, look forward. Slowly walk to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway up, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bring the hands up to the crease of the thighs, straightening the knees, keeping the head and the shoulders hinged forward. As you inhale, slowly stack one vertebrae at a time, rising up slowly, 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 before shifting the shoulders back and the head up and feeling a bit more of that weight just evaporate. Inhale, bring the hands overhead. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart center. Inhale, bring the hands overhead. Exhale, forward fold, lead with the heart. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, high plank. It's okay to bring your knees down or stay up in a high plank, keeping the elbows in, lower down, low push-up. Turn the feet over where the top of the feet are on the mat, pushing up into upward dog, tucking the toes, pushing back into downward dog. And now, in this resting position, it's a resting position for your internal organs. It's allowing your heart to take a little bit of a break, not having you push the blood so far up into your brain. We begin to work on shifting our focus to the positive. Work on that most important conversation we have, and that's the internal one with ourselves. We're going to practice shifting that to the positive, and we start that practice with those two most important words. I am amazing. I am okay. I am powerful. Inhale, bring the right leg up. Exhale, swing it forward and up between the hands. Turn the back foot across the back of the mat, rising up into warrior two. Knee over top of the ankle. Back foot crossways across the mat. Arms out. Gaze out over the front hand. Feeling and noticing. Am I leaning forward, yearning for the future? Am I leaning back, stuck in the past? Are my shoulders centered and square over top of my hips, firmly in the present, right here, right now? Turn the front hand over, and we reach that hand up towards the ceiling, running the back hand down the back side of the back leg, feeling that stretch on the inside of the back leg, reversing our warrior. Inhale, come back up into warrior two. Straighten the leg, tip the pelvis back. And now, keeping the heart open to the far side of the room, allow yourself to fall over that front leg, reaching the other hand up towards the ceiling, running the front hand down the inside of that front leg, feeling that gentle tug on the inside of that front thigh. Inhale back up to warrior two. Windmill the hands down, plant the hands, step back, and push right back up into downward dog. Taking advantage again of this position to practice that positive conversation. I am strong. I am worthy. I am doing yoga. Inhale, bring the left leg up. Exhale, bring it forward between the hands. And yes, it's okay to get there however you need to get there. If that's dropping down to your knees, maybe physically picking your foot up and putting it there, that's okay. Rising up into warrior two on the other side. Back foot again across the back of the mat. Knee bent over top of that front ankle. Arms out into warrior two, gaze out over that front hand. Neti pop before practicing because allergies are just terrible here. Trying to make it to where I could breathe today. So turn that front hand over and reach it up towards the ceiling, running that back hand down the back side of the back leg, feeling that stretch on the inside of that leg. For inhaling, coming back up to warrior two, straightening the front leg, tipping the pelvis back. And again, keeping the heart open, allowing yourself to fall over that front leg. Feeling that stretch on the inside of that front leg. Inhale, coming back up to warrior two. Exhale, windmilling the hands down, stepping back and pushing right into downward dog. Continuing that conversation. I am important. I am beautiful. I am somebody. Inhale, look forward, hop walker, jump to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway up, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep it all up overhead. Exhale, bring it all down to heart center. This time we're going to inhale, bring it up overhead. Exhale, we're going to sit back into a low chair, letting our knees bend and our sit bones come down towards the mat. Maybe our hands begin to point towards that joint between the wall and the ceiling, feeling that pull on the back of our calves. Inhale, extend a little bit. Exhale, come down a little bit more before releasing it all and letting go into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, high plank, lower down, low push-up, turn the feet over, pushing up into upward dog, tucking the toes, pushing back into downward dog. I am warming up. I am in control of my mind and body. I am worthy. Inhale, bring that right leg up. Allow it to fall over to the left. Look out underneath that left armpit, seeing if you can get a glimpse of those dirty toes over there. And then exhale, swing it forward between the hands. Again, not worrying about how graceful we are, getting into the position. It's moving and connecting our mind and our body that's important. Coming into a low lunge on this side, knowing it's okay to be in a kneeling position. It's also okay to come into hero's pose. Bring the sit bones back towards the heels. It takes all of the pressure off of the knees. So remember, it's your yoga, your way. So now I ask you to take in. Inhale, bring the hands up overhead. Shift the gaze up between your hands. As you're gazing up between your hands, you see a beautiful balloon in your favorite color. And onto that balloon, you're scribbling down all of the things that you tell yourself as excuses why you can't do things. All of the things that other people tell you about why you can't. You're scribbling that all down, all over that balloon, filling it completely up before lifting it up, 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 and releasing it. And you watch it float higher and higher and higher, taking with it all of those things that no longer serve you. Inhale, bring the hands overhead. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, and push right back up into downward dog. I am liberating myself. I am in control of me. I am beautiful. Inhale, bring that left leg up. Allow the knee to bend and let that toes fall over to the right side, looking out and seeing how dirty those toes are. I imagine mine are pretty nasty because I was out working on the pool all day. Inhale, bring that foot forward between the hands, rising up into a low lunge, or maybe into kneeling, or into hero's pose, taking that pressure off the knees before reaching up again towards the ceiling. And this time, when you look up, you see that you're holding on to a beautiful brown paper sky lantern. Those little paper bags with that flickering candle in the bottom. And into that little gondola, you're putting all of the words that you wish you could communicate to somebody, anybody, anywhere, any place. You're putting all of those words into that little sky lantern, and you're lifting it up, 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 and letting it go with the surety that those words are going right exactly to where you intend them to go. Inhale, bring the hands back up. Exhale, bring the hands down to the mat and push back into downward dog. I am okay. I am sweating a bit. I am glad I'm here. Inhale, look forward, hop walker, jump on the front of the mat, keeping it down, lowering the sit bones, coming into a low chair, feeling that pull on the back of the calves before inhaling, sweeping everything up overhead, and exhaling, bringing it all down to heart center. And one last time, we're going to inhale, bring the hands overhead. Exhale, forward fold, lead with the heart. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, plant the hands, step back. High plank. Lower down, low push up. Turn the feet over. Inhale, upward dog. Tuck the toes. Push back. Downward dog. I am moving. I am important. I am worthy. This time we're going to inhale it forward and step through into a seated position. Whatever seated position works for you. Feeling, again, noticing that connection with the ground, feeling the stability before we take and bring the bottom of our feet together, taking a second to just notice our feet, our ankles, our lower legs, just noticing, maybe running our thumbs up and down, just feeling and connecting what our mind and our body is doing. Maybe your knees are up here, maybe they're down here, maybe your feet are out here, maybe your feet are in here. Run your thumbs up the bottom of your feet, opening your feet gently, straightening your back, feeling your chin come to neutral. Feel yourself being pulled by the shoulders up, 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 until you have no choice but to hinge at the hips and allow yourself to hinge over your feet. Feeling it opening those inner hips, stretching and pulling on those flexors on the inner thighs, releasing all of that stagnant energy you've stored there in your hips, letting it all go, letting those emotions, those fears, those stresses, those strains just be released out of those hips. Inhale, extend a little bit more. Exhale, allow yourself to sink down just a wee bit more. Inhale, slowly bring yourself back up. We're going to move into the first of 3 boat poses. Bringing our knees up, feet flat on the mat, hands behind the thighs, or back behind you, or wherever's comfortable for you. We're going to shift our weight into our sit bones, feeling our feet begin to come light on the mat. And we're going to take and bring the belly button in towards the spine, engaging the core. We're going to lift one or both feet, maybe keeping the hands behind the knees, maybe leaning back on the hands. Maybe we're rowing against the current, pulling ourselves upward, up that beautiful river, looking for places unknown before we right ankle over left, allow ourselves to fold over the legs. Deflate, deflate. Inhale, lift the seat. Exhale, set it back down. And remembering, it's okay to keep your feet on the mat. It's okay to lean back on your hands. Whatever works for you, this is your yoga, your way. As we come into our second boat pose, maybe this time we're in that beautiful sailboat, drifting across that lovely lake, feeling the wind in our hair before left ankle over right. Deflate, deflate. And then coming right back up into our third and final boat pose. Okay. To do whatever your body tells you. If it tells you this is the time to lay down, then do it. Embrace that connection that you're listening to your mind and your body, and you're feeling tremble and that shake, and you know that that is fear leaving the body because your mind and your body are working together. Right ankle over left. Deflate, deflate. Inhale, lift the seat. Exhale, set it back down. Just long enough to move into a plank pose. You can either roll over your legs, shift over under your hip, whatever works for you. Again, there's no style points, there's no grace points. This is your yoga, your way. As we're coming into a high plank, we're feeling our back straighten out. It's okay to keep your knees down, whatever works for you. Allow the heels to fall over to the right, reaching the left hand up towards the ceiling. Again, feeling that tremble, feeling that shake before coming back down into a high plank and immediately allowing yourself to fall over onto the other side, reaching for the ceiling. Again, noticing that tremble, noticing that shake, and knowing it's fear leaving the body. Coming back down into a high plank, bringing yourself into a forearm plank, feeling again those shoulders separating, stretching more of those tendons, bringing the knees down to the mat, the thighs down to the mat, separating the hands, and bringing one ear to the mat, and allowing the top of your feet to open up and fall down onto the mat. As you're laying here, I want you to begin to notice your breath flowing in and flowing out. Maybe it's lifting you up and then allowing you to sink back down. And as that breath begins to slow down, maybe, just maybe, you begin to hear your heart beating, pulsing, throbbing, just tap, tap, tapping out, pushing love, warmth, and life up to the top of your head and gently pushing it down to the tips of your toes. Pushing that love out for the most important person in your heart's world, you. Inhale, bring the head up and bring the other ear to the mat. Maybe now you can take and get a glimpse of that love pulsing out from your heart in ever expanding circles, just radiating out, embracing your family, embracing your loved ones, embracing your city in nothing but pure, unconditional love. Inhale, bring the head back to neutral. Bring the hands down on either side of the chest and push yourself up into tabletop again. Just long enough to bring the big toes together, knees to the outer edges of the mat, sit bones towards the heels. We're going to move into child's pose. If it's within your practice, you can bring your forehead down into contact with the mat, or you can do like me and build your own little pillar, stacking one fist on top of the other fist And then bringing the center of your forehead, that beautiful third eye, into contact with the top of this personal pillar you built for yourself. This conduit, allowing a connection between that third eye, your think center, and the earth. And you can feel and see the last of those things no longer serve you. Those stories, those thoughts that just aren't productive anymore. You can feel them flowing through that personal column you constructed and being discharged and absorbed by the earth. Again, noticing that support and noticing the security the ground has and gives to you. Slowly bringing your hands back down into contact with the mat, palms open, keeping the head bent forward very slowly. Slowly begin to walk the hands back towards the body, bringing yourself back up into a hero's pose, allowing the shoulders to roll up and back as the head comes to neutral, and you blink the eyes open and you feel yourself at ease as the last of all of that stuff you no longer need just lifts and floats away. You lean over to one side or the other, shifting around, doesn't matter how awkwardly or how gracefully, keeping your feet flat on the mat and allowing yourself to roll down onto your back, maybe wiggling down to keep your head on the mat if you're like me, so you're not clonking on that hardwood floor. Arms out wide to either side or in cactus formation. Walking your feet out to the edge of the mat. And then on your next exhale, just allow the knees to fall slowly, slowly, slowly to the right. Then we're going to inhale slowly, slowly, slowly back up. Exhale, allow them to fall slowly, slowly, slowly to the left. Inhale slowly up. And then exhale slowly to the right as they fall gently, gently, gently. Inhaling gently, gently, gently up. Exhale, they fall to the left. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Inhale, bring those knees back up towards the ceiling. Walk your feet back together. Pull your knees in towards your chest. And then shoot your feet up towards the ceiling in legs up the wall or waterfall. Ideally, your legs would be vertical. Mine never are, but that's okay. Because this is my yoga, my way. Just like you are doing your yoga your way. You feel that blood flowing back down into your torso, being revitalized, reoxygenated, rejuvenated. Now we're going to slowly bring the hands up overhead, pointing towards the ceiling. And we're going to match that same angle as our legs. And we're going to allow our legs and our arms to slowly come down to about 45 degrees. Again, feeling that tremble, feeling that shake, and recognizing what? That is fear leaving the body. As we count down slowly, allowing ourselves slowly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Allowing the heels to touch down, hands to come back into contact with the mat. And yes, I know, I didn't count down. I counted up. There are no mistakes. There's just opportunities. We're going to begin now to move into our last and final pose, guided meditation or Shavasana. However you want to be, if you want to lay on your belly, that's fine. If you want to curl up on your side in a nice fetal position, that's okay. If you want to stretch out on your couch with a pillow behind your head, that's wonderful. Just allow yourself to feel yourself subsiding and sinking into whatever surface you're on. Maybe allowing your feet to splay open, reducing the pressure on your hip joints. You feel your hands just releasing and letting go of anything they've been trying to hold on to. You feel your forehead smoothing out, your eyebrows drifting apart. You feel your eyeballs sinking deeper into their sockets, your jaw relaxing, teeth slightly separate, lips gently together, as your tongue rests heavily against the back of your teeth. You feel your shoulders just subsiding and sinking into the mat. You feel a gentle tingle running down your thighs and into the bottom of your feet as that last little bit of impulses to move is just dissipated and released. And as you're lying here, feeling yourself just sinking, letting go, you begin to notice a beautiful ball of light falling slowly but controlled towards your forehead. And as it gently makes contact with your forehead, you feel it begin to illuminate everything inside, lighting up all of those areas in your skull, chasing out all of the little shadows, lighting up all of the nooks and crannies. As that light flows and rolls down into your sinuses, you feel it rolling down your throat, releasing all of the tension in your shoulders. As it shoots down your arms, you feel the tingles in your fingers as the light just sucks up any of the darkness hiding out there. Moving back into your core, the light continues to roll down, embracing, warming, comforting your heart. You feel it rolling down through your belly, into your pelvis, letting your hips just release and let go, letting all of those emotions and tension that you've stored in those hips, just letting it release and be absorbed by that beautiful light. As that light continues to roll down through your knees, you feel the backs of your calves begin to cool. The bottoms of your feet begin to tingle as that light moves into your feet and pushes its way out the bottom of your feet, taking with it all of those shadows, all of those hints of darkness, leaving you fully illuminated and at ease. I ask you to hear these words. Say them silently to yourself and embrace them. May I be safe, secure, and at ease. May my household be safe, secure, and at ease. May my family be safe, secure, and at ease. May my community be safe, secure, and at ease. May the whole world be safe, secure, and at ease. as we begin to move back towards wakefulness. I invite you to join me into bringing conscious movement back into your body, starting by wiggling our fingers and wiggling our toes, rotating our wrists and our ankles, bringing our hands to the center of our chest and reaching up, up, up towards the ceiling with our hands before pulling our knees into our chest and wrapping ourselves into a wonderful, well-deserved hug. Maybe, just maybe, rocking gently from side to side, gently massaging that lower back before allowing yourself to roll over onto your favorite side, pillowing your head on your lower bicep, upper hand firmly planted on the earth, feeling, noticing, and accepting this sense of security and ease you have gifted to yourself this evening. Keeping your eyes closed to hold on to this feeling as long as possible. Using your upper arm, gently push yourself up into an easy seated position. I invite you to join me, bringing your hands together, forefingers together, thumbs slightly separated, bringing your hands to heart center with your thumbs in your sternum, and allowing your head to bow down to the ultimate ruler, the heart. I ask you to hear these words and know them to be as true about you as they are about me. I am complete. I am worthy of giving and receiving love. I am whole. That beautiful light within me sees, recognizes, and acknowledges that same beautiful light within each and every one of you. Thank you so much for sharing practice with me today. Namaste. Thank you all. I see you all there, and I really appreciate you joining with me today. And I hope maybe, just maybe, you can join with me tomorrow, 6 p.m., same places. So thank you all very much, and have a wonderful, wonderful evening.